So I'm here taking a look at their brand newly released Zeekr 9X. This is probably the nicest car I've reviewed or seen here in China, and you might see why yourself in this video. So I'm going to start here from the top. So as you can see, it has some radar driving assistance up there, and then you have some cameras on the windshield. And we come down to the bonnet. The bonnet is this flat interface, and then it only creases off on the edges, but for the most part is flattened on the top, and you have your blacked out Zeekr badging, really nice. And we come down to the grille. The grille looks very similar to that on the 009 minivan that they have, but this is the luxury version, 6-seater version. You get a number plate placement area, and you get a camera down there, and you got these grill area which will open up for more ventilation. And as you can see, inside the grill is closed as well, and it has these flaps that will open when there's a need for cooling. It's a hybrid, so there's an engine in there. And then we go down here and you have the lighting, and we take a look at the lighting in detail on this side. So if you look here, you have your daytime running lights, one bar here, one bar there, and you've got some sprinkled LED lighting protruding through some cuts, looking really nice. And you got your blue illumination to indicate autonomous driving, and you got your lighting going on here. So you got one beam there, and a fog light on the edge there as well. So, and you got your parking sensors going all the way to the side. So let me just step back so we can appreciate the beauty of the front. Now moving on to the side, let's take a look at the tires here. So this one is sporting some Michelin Pilot Sport 5 Energy tires. Comes in 285/45 rim 22. So these are 22 rim tires, and look at the design of these rims, guys. Really awesome. And inside there you can see a very fat, thick brake disc in there, and I'm loving it. And this is air suspension as well, so when we look inside there we'll see the air suspension going on. And as you can see, the tire almost feels the rim area, making it look really nice. So let me just step back a little. Now if we look on here, we have a camera up there, one here and one here, to help with the 360 camera view. And then you get your blue illumination again to indicate autonomous driving, and then you have a driving mirror, quite conventional, and then you have your blind spot indicator right there. Let me step back. I'll just take a look at the exterior of the car first before we step in. This car looks awesome. And to open the doors, these are soft closed doors, so it's got proper handles, not the pop-out style ones. So once it touches, it sucks it in. Automatic plus soft closed doors, so really, really nice. And we go on to this side. You press that, and you have it glide away, and you have your charging, one for fast charging and one for slow charging. And I like that there are many cars that have two leads, but this one has one. Of course, when you're doing your slow charge, this one is closed, and when you're doing your fast charge, you can replace it. So this one cap will do it for both sides. That's really neat. And to lock it up, you just press that, and it goes back in really neatly. And then up here you have your Zeekr badging. So if I step back a little bit, we can see it kind of looks like they're calling on, but I just feel like this one has been done really nicely. And going on to the back, the rear has a camera up here, and you got your brake lights running all the way, breaking off here and continue from here to the other side. And as you can see, these are tinted windows from factory, so you don't need to do it aftermarket. And you can see two light bars kind of crystallized going all the way from the left to the right, one on top and one below, and in the middle there's the huge Zeekr badge in there, looking really nice. And then you have two split autonomous driving indicator there, and you still have some indicator lighting protruding through these cats here. And then we go down here to your number plate placement area, and you got a camera here two cameras here, one for reverse and one for safety. You got your parking sensors there, and you got your 9x badging right there. So this guy is a suspension, so you can raise it and lower it as you wish. And if we look down there, it has good clearance as well. Beautifully done. You just go on to the right hand side, and on this side, because it's a hybrid, this is the part where you fill your gas. It's locked right now. It will work with the car's locking system. So with the lighting good here, we can have a good look of the car from this angle. And this side is going to be similar to the other side. So I'm just going to go on and continue with the interior, starting from the boot. So to open the boot, you just press that, and then it opens, and then it's a split door system. And this lower part can see 2 or 3 people, and once it's open, this is the amount of space that you have in the boot. It's all lined with this very nice carpet material, quality feeling, very tough feeling. And let's just look down here real quick. So if you look down here, there isn't extra storage. You just have your safety triangle, your puncture kit, and then your reflector and your tow bar right there. So there's just a little more space to fit flat stuff, but not really for storage. And if we look on the lower part, you have these tie down hooks here that you can use to hold things. And up here you have this plastic bait that can carry up to about 3 kilograms. You got light in here, you got light in there as well, and you got a 220 volt AC socket, so that's 2200 watts, so you can power your computer, your microwave, and all other electronics that you might be carrying on you whilst you're on a trip. And then these are the buttons for controlling the height of the car. So this will increase and lower the suspension. These ones for controlling the seats. So if I push this, we can see the seat coming back and that kind of thing. And then you have a speaker grill in the back here as well. So this is the boot space that you have. The boot lid, the interior of the boot lid is plastic, but that's fine. And if we look up here, you have this hook here that will pop out, and it can carry up to 2 kilograms. So there's one on this side, and there's one on the other side as well. All really neat. And to close the boot, you just press that button like any conventional, and as you can see, the lower part goes up first, and then it shuts relatively fast. But let me show you a nice feature here. So once the boot is open, you have all the lighting. The lighting is not visible anymore, but if you look on the left and on the right, you can see secondary lighting here that is hiding within or inside the boot lid. So this will illuminate once the boot is open for safety reasons, and it's done nicely as well. It's not one of those cheap stuff. It's really high quality LEDs in there. So overall, I think this car is used a lot of quality. So now let's move on to the interior and take a look at what it has to offer. So I'm taking a look at the interior, and these are electronically aided doors as well. The doors feel heavy, but when you open it, you can feel it's very light because the electronics aid to open the doors. And let's look at the build of the door. So as you can see, it opens really wide, I would say up to 90 degrees, and there's some electronic stuff going on there, so let's just leave it here. But as you can see, it's got very nice padding, which is going to help with the sound deadening. And the doors all go all the way down, so you're not going to soil your clothes on very bad weather days. You've got runners here to help passengers get on board, especially when the car is raised. And we can see it's got this rectangular window, which is tinted from factory as well. When I get in the interior proper, I'll show a lot more features, but for now we're looking at the materials that have been used. Very nice. This one is in some shade of blue, really nice, and it comes with name premium speakers. And if we look down here, there's an area for holding to shut the door. And if we go down here, you got Napa leather, very soft material everywhere you touch. You got a speaker grill here, and a speaker grill up there. and your door pockets are lined with felt. So this part is lined with felt and that part is lined with thick carpet material. And you got an emergency latch here for opening the door in an emergency. And let's see what happens when we press this one. So you have extra storage on the side when you press that, and it's lined with felt as well. And to close it, you have to do it manually, but it's very nice soft close as well. You got a wood trim here looking really nice, and you've got this glass panel here which houses the interior lighting. So this car exudes very high quality. Now if we look at the opening itself, it's very wide, and these buttons are for controlling. So the seat moves forward and then passengers can get into the back really nicely. It's not one of those slow ones. It goes relatively fast as well. And if I press this, it's going to go back. So you are not forced to go through the middle row seat before you get to the third row seat. You can actually get in directly from here, which is really nice. But let's take a look at the middle row seat. So on the side, you have all your controls, your lumbar support, and you can see how raised this seat is. And the middle row seat also has thigh support, which is a feature that most cars don't have. I'll just sit in this seat and we have a lot of functionality. So you have your massage functions here, and you can control, you press, and you can use this button to change the intensity of the massage and the level, and you can turn it off. And this is for heated and cool seats, memory 1, memory 2, and then recline. So if I press this one, we'll see what is happening. And then it goes back. So lots of functionality for the seats as well, for both driver and passenger. Behind the front passenger seat, there is a table, just like many other Chinese cars. And as you can see, it's a flat surface you can use to do work or eat while the car is in motion. And you have this wood trim here, looking really nice. And you just push it back and it locks away nicely. You have your air vents here, some air vents here, some air vents on the top as well. You got a grab handle here, feeling very high quality. You have a speaker grill here, and you have your interior lighting here, touch sensitive, and you have some microphone inlets here. And to lock the door is clearly indicated, so you press it and the door is gonna shut. Soft closed doors. And if you look, you can see the interior lighting here done really nicely. One around, I believe, the tweeters, and then one on the door itself. And you can see all the indicators are illuminated, and the speaker grill also has lighting coming from there as well. And the door pockets also have lighting from there as well. To open the door, you just press this button, and because they are electronic, it opens for the passenger. There's an area here where you can insert your phone for storage purposes. And if we look here, there is these double cup holders here with this flat surface here where you can load up to 15 kilograms of weight. So up to 15 kilograms can be placed here, and you have two cup holders here. And to get it away, there's a button here on the bottom. Press that and you can tuck it away. So if I press that, the screen is gonna slide all the way to the back depending on where you want it. So the screen can slide forwards and back on these rails here, so you can actually adjust the positioning of the screen. So I press the button, and as you can see, the screen is gliding all the way to the front. How cool is that? So it's not static. You can actually move it to the location where you want it. And to get the screen open, I just press this button, and you can see the screen coming down. So you have the option to move it to any location of the car that you want, and that's a really neat feature. And it's very high quality screen as well, so you can watch whatever you want to watch. You can populate your apps and control all the functions of the car as well. So looking really, really neat. And there's a camera here as well to monitor what's going on in the rear of the car. And to push it back, all you do is press that button again, and you can see the action happening. The floating screen goes back into the roof, and then it's going to glide back to the rear. So you can raise the sunshades electronically to the top, and if I push it again, it's going to lower it back down. Very neat feature. You don't have to do it manually. And let's take a look at this secondary screen here. So there, before the secondary screen, let's take a look at this. There's a fridge down here. So if I pull it, you can see a very nice sizable fridge. And to get it back in, you just push it back. And up here, you can turn on the fridge and set your temperature. And you can turn it off if you don't want to. Now, let's take a look at this screen. So with this screen, you can actually pull out the screen by pressing that. It pops out, and then it becomes a phone in your hand, and you can use to control all the functions of the car. And once you're done, to get it back in, you just place it there, and then it gets stuck in there. And you've got these buttons on the front passenger seat that you can use to control the position of the seat, so you don't have to move around whilst you're doing that, or you don't need a driver to do it for you. You can do it from the back, or the driver can also do it while sat in his seat. And then on the back of the driver's seat, you have a pocket here for storage of things. You got a hook here for your jackets and stuff like that. You can see very nice high quality Alcantara material all around this vehicle, looking very nice. Now let's take a look at the third row seats. On the back of the middle row seats, you can see these buttons that you can use to control the seat positioning. So I can press this to bring the seat back. So again, if there's no one on the middle row seat, you don't have to ask anyone to help you to do that. You can actually get a seat forward and back by yourself. And if you press it again, that's what happens. It goes forward automatically. And like I said, the other seat has the same function. Now if we look here, you have heater seats for the third row passenger, and then you also have these seat controls, forward and back, recline, and then you have a really small sunshade here dedicated to the third row seat. How cool is that? Now if I press this again, see what's going to happen. So it's going to open it up for just the third row seat passengers, and both passengers have the same control, so no one's going to complain. So I'm just going to stick on one side. So that is for the, and then this is for speaking to the driver. So if you want to enhance your voice, you can press that, or control the car, you can press that to have access to that function. So that's really neat. And can you see this, guys? The third row seat also has sunshades. Although it's manual, you still have it as a third row seat passenger, which is really nice. You got an airbag here, you got a grab handle here, you got air vents here, and then here you have some ambient lighting here, and then you have a cup holder here, and you have a USB Type-C here, and an illuminated area here for storage of items. So sitting back in the third row seat feels really comfortable. It's not cramped at all. I think it's very comfortable for the third row seat passengers as well. Now let's take a look at the front door. So of course the driver is going to have a lot more controls here, but let me start from the bottom. So you got a speaker grill here, and you got your door pockets lined with felt and carpet, and you got a speaker grill here and another speaker grill there, all from the Naim premium brand. And then again you have storage area. So when I press that, it opens this pocket here, which is lined with felt, and then you just push it back to lock. This is the button for closing and opening the door. And then you got here for controlling the mirrors, and you have your buttons for lowering and raising the mirrors, the windows, and then you have your door lock unlock. And then up here you have seat controls, heated seats, cool seats, massage, and all those functions, memory, seat settings, and you get seat controls, lumbar support, all that kind of thing. And if we look up down here, the door opens up to about, I would say, 70 degrees. So it's easy access for the driver. And let's look at the configuration of the seat. So you got some speakers in the headrest. Look at the configuration of the seat. The design looks beautiful with some perforated leather, very soft feeling leather with some very nice side supports. And I like that the seat belt hook is clearly protruding, so it's going to be easy. So as you can see, because the controls are on the door, the driver doesn't have controls on the side. And as it's a hybrid, you have this for opening your engine bonnet. So let me just sit in the driver's seat. So let me start from the top. So as you can see, you have an SOS button, your lighting button in here. So you press, it's a real button, but you got all these individual LEDs that are going to light up really nicely. And you got this for opening your sunshade, and it glides all the way to the back. Very functional. And then you have a microphone hold right there, and you have a camera here, so your rear view mirror is a camera, so that's really neat. And if we pull this sunshade down, you have your vanity mirror, which shows your face really nicely, and it's got LED lighting on both sides, and you just push it back. Everything feels of premium quality. You have grab handles here, you have a speaker grill here, got an airbag indicator, and I love this lovely blue interior. It's not too much blue, it's just the right amount of blue. And if we look down here, you have hand rest, and when you lift it, you have this storage area here, which is lined with felt to prevent things from rattling about. And you've got type C charging ports, so 60 watts, two side type C 60-watt charging ports. Most phones can't even do 60 watts yet. You got a flat area, storage area here for whatever you want to put there. And if we look down here, you can slide this area, and then you have a very deep storage area here. It's actually up to my elbow, and you can push and it will slide back. And you have this button, this swivel here for controlling functions, volume. If I move it, you can see what's happening on the screen, and you can press to play and pause. And you have hill descent button. I'm not sure what this is. And you also have physical buttons for a lot of your controls and your tilt and raising the suspension and reducing the suspension, all that kind of stuff. And then you have wireless charging pads here, two of those, which are ventilated as well to prevent your phone from heating up. This one doubles as an NFC connection area as well. I'm not sure, it's not indicated here, but if the wired is 60 watts, I'm sure this is like 50 watts or maybe 60 watts wireless charging as well. And then you have real piano style physical buttons for hazard lights, for heated windows, for opening the boot and closing, and then for return, I believe. And then you have your real vents here for opening for controlling the wind direction. And then we look at the screen. So there is this huge screen here like you have on many Chinese cars, and it's very, very crisp as well. Let's see what we have here. So here you can see a layout of your environment, and then here we have the car information where you can do all your settings. Of course, you can change this into English. You have your seat controls if you want to do them on the screen. You have your temperature here. You have your movies. You have your movies. You have your car information. You have your 360 camera right here. You can see very, very crisp even in the showroom. And you have your music right here, and you have for populating all your apps. So as you can see, these are two individual screens. It's going to take a whole day to show all the controls here, but if we just look up here, we have some quick buttons here as well, and then settings. And up here you have extra buttons for your Wi-Fi, your time, your direction, and all that kind of stuff. So this is not recessed into the body, it's kind of hanging, but it feels very, very solid. Now let's take a look at the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is a very nice size, and I like that it's clutter free. So you just have some basic functions: steering, 360 camera on the fingertips of the driver, and you can see how quick it populates when I press it. And then you have this for changing functions, and then you have the swivel for increasing volume and other functions. This is the horn. Very nice steering, not too big, just the right amount of size. And then you have, of course, your turn signal button here, which also doubles as your wiper, beam, high beam, low beam, that kind of thing. And then on the right hand side is your stop for controlling the gears, and you just press here for P, park. And then you have a secondary screen here. So although it has HUD right there, it also has this screen, which is a signature curvature screen of the Zeekr brand, and it's very crisp as well. It has all the information. It also has a mini map there. So you have three options. You can use the HUD, you can use this one right behind the steering wheel, and you can also use the screen as well. So lots of options for viewing what's happening. And then you have a camera sensor here as well to monitor the tiredness level of the driver. If we look down here, we have some aluminum paddles here for the driver, done really nicely. So guys, this is probably the most beautiful Chinese car that I've reviewed in my journey, and I hope you found this useful. If you did, don't forget to like the video as well. Subscribe to the channel so we can grow it together. Till I see you in the next video, guys. Ride legal, ride safe always. Peace, and I'm out.